Brace yourself. We are about to be hit by a powerful storm of cosmic energy, and after it passes, nothing inside you will feel the same. Tomorrow, on September 13th, something incredible is happening. Mercury isn't just lining up with the sun. It's going to be completely consumed by it. This is a rare phenomenon called a Mercury Cazimi. For a few short hours, everything you thought you knew about your own body, your senses, and even your gut instincts will be completely up in the air. This isn't some gentle, peaceful alignment. Think of it more like a cosmic collision. And if you're one of the chosen ones, you're going to feel the aftershocks in ways that most people can't even begin to imagine. The majority of people won't have a clue what's coming, but if you are truly one of us, your body will make sure you get the message loud and clear. It is absolutely vital that you pay attention, because what you fail to notice now could end up costing you dearly. September 13th isn't just any other day. It's the moment Mercury finally steps out of the shadows and comes back into the light. That's why this particular alignment feels so intense. The shaking in your body isn't a sign of weakness. It's your body trembling because it knows a doorway has just opened. For the chosen, this isn't just a random symptom. It's a sign of recognition. It's the sound of a massive gate creaking open, showing who is ready to step through to the other side, and who will be left behind, locked out. But that's just the beginning. What's waiting on the other side of that gate is something the average person is nowhere near ready to handle. The thinker's headache. If you're a thinker, someone who can't accept easy answers, who has to pull at every loose thread until the whole thing comes apart, you're going to feel this more intensely than almost anyone else. Mercury is the planet that rules our thoughts, our speech, and the very connection that allows ideas to travel from our minds to our mouths. When Mercury gets squeezed into the sun's core during the Cazimi, that entire system is put under a cosmic spotlight. The effects are anything but subtle. You might experience headaches that feel like someone is pacing back and forth behind your eyes. A sudden, low-level irritation might creep into your conversations, and you may find your concentration slipping away right when you need it the most. This is the Cazimi targeting the part of you that questions everything. It's aimed at the overthinkers, the analyzers, the people who dig so deep for answers that their heads literally start to ache. Because Mercury doesn't just influence your logic, it puts it to the test. You might notice your thoughts getting stuck in loops they've never been in before, or find words disappearing from your mind right in the middle of a sentence. It's easy to write this off as just stress or a lack of sleep, but many will feel that the timing is just too perfect to be a coincidence. The exact moment Mercury hits the center of the sun, the mind will start to flutter. For the chosen, this doesn't feel like a weakness. It feels like pressure. It's like the universe is holding up a mirror and asking you to see your reflection while the glass is vibrating. The hard truth is that real clarity often comes from discomfort. As your mind tightens, new insights can finally break free. Expect that irritability to be paired with sudden bursts of inspiration. These will be short, sharp flashes of understanding that appear between the headaches, like lightning striking a single thought before vanishing. Don't panic. Just pay attention. This is Mercury's way of testing who is truly a thinker and who is just pretending. The buzzing in your hands. When Mercury is forced into the sun, its energy travels through the parts of the body it governs: movement, touch, and dexterity. Because of this, you need to watch your hands. Some people will start to notice an odd buzzing sensation just under the skin, like a soft electrical hum across their fingertips. You might also find yourself fumbling or dropping things much more often. This isn't just clumsiness from being tired. It's your body trying to release a buildup of energy that has nowhere else to go. Imagine your palms are like little grounding plates that are suddenly picking up way more static than they're used to. This will show up in small, specific ways. A pen might slip out of your hand mid-sentence. Your phone could tumble off a counter. You might drop your keys for no reason you can explain. Other times, it will be in tiny movements you can't control, like restless fingers, tapping feet, or a sudden tightness in your wrists. Some have described it as a mild vibration that you just can't shake, as if your nerves are practicing a message they don't know how to deliver yet. Your hands are your instruments. When an instrument is tuned too tightly, it trembles. For those of you who work with your hands, artists, builders, healers, this can feel incredibly disruptive, but it can also be very revealing. Fumbling can show you where your focus really needs to be, and that buzzing can be a signal that your energy needs to be redirected. Again, we can't say for sure it's just the Cazimi, but the timing is uncanny. As Mercury is illuminated by the sun, the most skillful parts of our bodies begin to act out. Pay attention to what your hands are doing. They might be trying to tell you where the real work is about to begin. The burn of clarity. Not everyone will experience this Cazimi with headaches or restless hands. A select few, those whose bodies can handle the intense energy, will experience something far stranger, the burn of clarity. It will arrive all at once, without any warning, like someone flipping on a light switch in a dark room you never even knew you were in. You might wake up tomorrow and simply know the answer to a decision you've been putting off for months. You might suddenly see the truth about a relationship you've been questioning or understand the real reason you've been stuck in the same negative thought patterns. But this kind of clarity isn't free. It takes a toll on the body. Many will find that this flash of insight only comes after hours of strange physical strain. Pounding temples, hot flashes, tense muscles, or even brief zaps in the brain that feel like a wire short-circuiting. That is the price you pay for downloading information your nervous system wasn't built to handle all at once. Revelation doesn't show up gently. It scorches a path right into your being. Think of it like this. When Mercury steps into the heart of the sun, it isn't whispering, it's shouting. Your body becomes the megaphone. And megaphones aren't designed for delicate music. They distort, they rattle, and they shake. But the message still gets through. And for some, that message is exactly what they've been waiting to hear. Imagine you've been fighting with a locked door for years, only for it to swing wide open on one specific day. Not because you forced it, but because the timing was finally right. That's what this Cazimi can feel like. So yes, tomorrow might leave you feeling drained, dizzy, or buzzing around the edges. But for the chosen, it may also deliver the one piece of clarity that changes everything. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. That's the real burn, the knowledge that sticks with you forever. The fire in your gut. If the mind trembles and the hands buzz, then the gut roars. Mercury rules our nerves and communication, but it's also connected to our digestion. The quiet system that decides what our body absorbs and what it gets rid of. During this Cazimi, your gut becomes a battlefield, translating the sun's fire into physical sensations. And it's here, in your stomach and intestines, that many will feel the strangest reactions of all. Some of you will feel sudden flips in your stomach, almost like the floor dropped out from under you for a second. Others might notice a nervous kind of hunger, where you eat not because you're hungry, but because your body is desperately searching for something to ground it. You might feel waves of heat moving through your intestines, a warmth that feels almost unnatural, as if a fire has been lit where there should only be quiet digestion. It's easy to blame this on stress or a bad night's sleep, but once again, the timing is too precise. Your gut is your second brain, and when Mercury burns, that second brain speaks in flames. This isn't just about discomfort. It's about translation. Your nervous system is getting overloaded with energy, and your gut, with its massive network of nerve endings, is trying to step in and act as an interpreter. That's why some of you will feel those normal butterflies in your stomach magnified to an extreme level, or a twisting, churning sensation that has no obvious cause. Your gut is telling you, there's too much signal, too much fire. Let me handle it. But it can't filter the energy cleanly, so it just burns instead. For the chosen, this gut fire is full of meaning. It can act like an internal alarm system, forcing you to pay attention to the parts of your life you've been swallowing without thinking. Maybe your stomach churns every time you think about a certain person, a place, or a choice you've been avoiding. Maybe that sudden hunger is revealing an emptiness inside you that you've been denying. The Cazimi makes your gut so loud that you can no longer ignore it. So if you feel those flips, that heat, or that gnawing hunger, listen closely. It's not just your digestion. It's Mercury speaking through your gut, warning you that what you've been trying to process in silence can't stay silent any longer. The light in your eyes. There's a reason your eyes feel this alignment so intensely, and it's not a coincidence. Mercury, the messenger, is sitting directly in the heart of the sun, a place the human body was never meant to look. Think about it. We're taught as children to never stare directly at the sun because it can permanently damage our retinas. Yet tomorrow, on a spiritual level, your inner eye will be trying to do exactly that. It's as if your spiritual vision is yanking open the blinds to look at something blindingly bright, and your physical eyes are struggling to keep up. For many, this will manifest as a sudden sensitivity to light. The screen on your phone might seem too bright, or the fluorescent lights at the office might feel like they're cutting right through you. Some of you might experience blurred vision for no apparent reason, where words go out of focus just long enough to be frustrating. Others might see brief flashes or spots of color dancing at the edges of their vision, here 1 second, and gone the next. On any other day, you'd just shrug it off. But on a Cazimi day, the timing is impossible to ignore. Your eyes aren't failing you. You're simply witnessing more light than you were ever built to process. This isn't just a physical thing. Our eyes are symbolic. They are the gateways between our inner world and the outer world. When Mercury burns in the sun, its message isn't delivered through words. It's delivered through pure brightness. Your body registers this as strain. But the deeper truth is that the veil between what you see and what you understand is getting thinner. The blurs and flashes are hints that you're struggling to balance normal sight with a sharper, almost unbearable clarity that's trying to break through. For the chosen, this can be deeply unsettling. Imagine trying to read a book while someone shines a spotlight in your face. It's not the book that's the problem. It's the overwhelming intensity of the light. That's what this Cazimi does. It cranks up your perception until your eyes start to revel. And yet, in those moments of blurriness or sensitivity, something else slips through. A thought, an intuition, a realization that flashes just as quickly as the light in your eyes. The discomfort is a signal. Your body is telling you that there's more to see, but you can't take it all in at once. You're not supposed to. The flashes, the sensitivity, the blur, they aren't malfunctions. They are thresholds. They're reminding you that seeing something isn't the same as understanding it. And tomorrow, as Mercury sits in the heart of the sun, your body will force you to feel the difference. Clarity doesn't blind you because it's fake. It blinds you because it's too real. The power of the 13th. September 13th is not just another date on the calendar. The number 13 carries a weight that cultures have both feared and respected for thousands of years. It's been called unlucky, cursed, and is often skipped on elevator buttons and hotel floors. But the real reason for that superstition is because 13 is a number of immense power. It's the number that refuses to fit neatly into the box of 12. The 12 zodiac signs, the 12 months, the 12 hours on a clock. 13 is the number that breaks the cycle. Whenever it appears, it signals transformation, disruption, and rebirth. Now, think about what's happening tomorrow. A Mercury alignment this powerful doesn't happen every day. And here it is, merging with the very heart of the sun on the 13th. That is not a coincidence. That is a cosmic statement. It's a reminder that what we're about to experience isn't just routine astrology. It's a collective initiation. It's as if the universe circled this date in bright red ink and said, "Pay attention. This is when the message gets delivered." The power of 13 is in its duality. On one hand, it represents endings and the death of an old cycle. On the other, it represents new beginnings and an initiation into what comes next. That's why so many people fear it. It's not comfortable or predictable. But that's exactly why those who are awake, the chosen ones, are being asked to feel it, not run away from it. The number 13 is the bridge between order and transformation, and you can't cross it without being changed. During this cosmic shift, the sun's fire will burn away all the noise, leaving only the purest, most essential part of Mercury's message. When you combine that with the power of the number 13, you get a moment where the truth doesn't just trickle in, it breaks through. The body feels this as strain. The mind feels it as clarity. And the spirit feels it as a threshold. This is why so many of you will feel that tomorrow is not a normal day. It isn't supposed to be. Think about all the cycles in your own life that have repeated over and over again, like the 12 hours on a clock. This shift on the 13th is designed to smash through that repetition. It pushes you into a space that you can't predict, a space where something new is required of you. That's why your body is twitching, why your mind is racing, and why your eyes are straining. Your entire system is preparing to take a leap it can't fully comprehend. The truth is, tomorrow is not a date to just get through. It's a date to recognize. It's not just September 13th. It's a signal, a passageway, and a reminder that while most people will treat it like any other day, you are not like most people. This is the difference between living inside the safe circle of 12 and daring to step into the unknown of 13. Most people fear 13 because it breaks the pattern, but the chosen embrace it because they were never meant to stay inside the pattern in the first place. The night before, what most people don't realize is that the body doesn't wait for the clock to strike midnight on the 13th to start reacting. A threshold like this always announces its arrival the night before. That means tonight, September 12th, is not going to feel normal. If you're tuned in, if your system is already sensitive to these energies, you're going to notice it. You might feel a restlessness that has no clear cause, or a mind that refuses to shut down even though you're completely exhausted. Or you might experience the strangest sign of all, jolting awake at specific hours of the night, almost as if your body is set to an alarm you didn't consciously choose. Waking up at midnight or 3 a.m. isn't random. These are pressure points on your body's internal clock. Before a shift this intense, your nervous system starts running diagnostics. It's like the static in the air right before a lightning strike. Your entire body is checking its circuits to make sure it's ready to handle the solar energy surge that's coming tomorrow. If you find yourself tossing and turning or waking up suddenly, it's not just insomnia, and it's not just stress. It's your body responding to the alignment that's already underway. Some of you might notice something else. The strange feeling of being half awake and half dreaming, as if you're lying in your bed, but also somewhere else, watching yourself from a distance. That in-between state isn't just your imagination. It's your body sensing up with the frequency of the shift, forcing you into a liminal space before the gate officially opens. The night before a threshold always whispers a warning. Your body feels what's coming tomorrow long before your mind can understand it. And for the chosen ones, tonight is the real test. Your body is the antenna, and your nervous system is the wiring. If you feel your muscles twitching, your legs kicking, or your heart beating louder than usual as you try to sleep, it's because you're already plugged into what's on its way. Tonight, the veil is thin enough that your body is already rehearsing for the crossing. It's important to understand that this isn't discomfort for no reason. The agitation, the restlessness, waking up at strange hours, it's all a form of preparation. Because when Mercury stands in the heart of the sun tomorrow, you won't have time to get ready. You either show up already tuned in, or you don't show up at all. That's why tonight is so important. That's why what happens before the shift is just as critical as the alignment itself. So if you're lying awake tonight wondering why sleep feels impossible, remember, it's not insomnia, it's initiation. And if your body keeps jolting you awake at the strangest hours, don't ignore it. Pay attention, because the night before always reveals who is ready to step through the gate and who is going to sleep right through it. The phantom sounds. There's a sound you never knew you carried inside you until Mercury gets squeezed into the sun, and the low hum that's always in the background of your life suddenly gets turned up, like a radio someone forgot to turn off. This isn't just tinnitus or a headache. It's a whole collection of phantom noises that show up without an invitation. You might hear faint footsteps that stop the moment you turn to look. You might catch whispering threads of a conversation that fade away when you try to listen closer. Or you might feel the steady, underlying beat of a rhythm that has no source in the room you're in. Your ears are starting to pick up on frequencies that you've trained yourself your whole life to ignore. Suddenly, everything around you seems to have an odd, hidden layer of meaning. People will report hearing things that feel like messages, little taps, soft knocks, or what sound like words right at the edge of their hearing. Some will say it's like being in a crowded train station when a distant announcement finally becomes clear for just a second. Others will describe a strange, visceral feeling of being listened to, as if the air itself is scanning you for a response. This isn't paranoia. It's resonance. When Mercury is in the heart of the sun, it amplifies the tiny frequencies your nervous system usually filters out, and your body interprets them as sound, intention, or pressure. Sound is the first language of the unseen world, and during this shift, that language gets much louder. You might notice that the noises are strangely personal. A beat that syncs up with your own heartbeat, whispers that surface right when you're thinking of a specific person. An almost audible click that happens whenever you pass by a door you've been avoiding. These aren't just hallucinations. It's your body giving you access to the background signals of the world. The electromagnetic twitches, the echoes of old conversations, the language of other people's unspoken tension. For those who are already sensitive, this can be unnerving. For those who are just waking up, it can be bewildering. Either way, what you hear will push the boundaries of what you consider to be real. There's another layer to this, a physical reaction to sound that makes your body behave as if it's receiving information. You might suddenly flinch in a moment of silence, get goosebumps when a certain tone matches a memory, or have the uncanny feeling that someone just said your name in the next room. Your ears don't just decode external noise. They read patterns, and they will start to read patterns you never expected. That's why some of you will wake up with the feeling of having been called during the night, not by words, but by a specific cadence or pitch. Your body recognizes an arrangement of frequencies that means something much deeper than literal speech. Your nervous system will respond to anything that sounds like the truth, and during this alignment, everything that resembles the truth will ring much louder. For the chosen, this heightened hearing becomes both a tool and a test. It can reveal the subtle betrayals in a relationship, the slight tremor in someone's voice that tells you they're lying, or the genuine warmth in a stranger's tone that reveals their kindness. But it can also be overwhelming. Too many signals at once, all demanding your attention, until your focus is scattered and your mind scrambles to figure out what's important. That's when your ears become a filter you can't turn off, and your body reacts with nausea, goosebumps, or the sudden urge to move or speak. These reactions are your body's way of forcing you to choose. This is important. This is just noise. This is the truth. Remember that strange intimacy of feeling like the world is listening to you, and you're listening back. Yes, you will feel watched, but you may also discover that you can hear what others cannot. A faint pattern in someone's breath, the half-spoken word that reveals their true intention, or a rhythm that hints at a decision being made before it's ever spoken. That's the gift hidden inside the strain. Hearing comes before speaking. The body catches the message before the mind translates it. Tomorrow, your ears won't just detect sound. They will translate context, motive, and timing. And when you hear what your mind can't yet understand, you have a choice. Ignore it and stay blind, or follow the sound and see where it leads. The positive spark. After everything that feels chaotic, invasive, or unsettling, there's a quieter truth waiting for you. Your body isn't breaking down. It's recalibrating. What feels like disruption is often the only way a system can reorganize itself to become stronger. Those buzzing hands, the pressure behind your eyes, the sudden hunger or loss of focus, they are not signs that you're failing. When Mercury sits in the Sun on the 13th, your body is being handed a new blueprint to work with. And like learning anything new, the practice is messy at first. Think of it like cleaning a cluttered room. You have to move all the furniture around and make a mess before you can let the light in. This moment has a purpose. The skin that prickles, the throat that tightens, the gut that flares up. These are all temporary thresholds being tested. Your nervous system is learning a whole new vocabulary of signals and silence. And at first, it's going to misread the grammar. That misreading is exactly where the work gets done. Nerves fire, muscles twitch, and your perception sharpens until it slowly settles into a new, steadier state. For the chosen, these sensations will eventually become markers of alignment rather than alarms. You'll begin to recognize the pattern. Discomfort followed by a strange sense of clarity. Static followed by a clear message. It's your body's blunt way of saying, I am making room for something new. There's also a practical advantage hidden beneath all the drama. As awkward as a buzzing hand or a tight throat might feel, these changes often come with real-world benefits. You might find yourself able to get a quicker read on a person's intentions, have faster gut instincts, or sense subtle shifts in a situation before they become obvious to everyone else. Those tiny physical reactions that once annoyed you will become early warning signals that protect, guide, and help you move forward. Sensitivity is not a weakness. It's a faster compass. A recalibrated body learns to detect nuance, to pick up on tone, rhythm, and intention, long before the rational mind has time to catch up. This spark isn't just for you. When enough people undergo this recalibration, the collective energy field itself begins to shift. The small, positive changes you experience, an unexpected insight, a conversation that resolves itself quickly, the sudden end to something that's been stuck for months, are real effects that ripple outward. You may find that relationships that have been strained suddenly become easier, or projects that were stalled start to gain momentum. This is the practical side of spiritual shifts. The internal tuning you're doing will show up as external progress. When your body learns a new frequency, your life will start to rearrange itself to match it. Most importantly, this positive spark requires integration, not denial. That means noticing what feels different, and then grounding it in your everyday choices. The flash of clarity you get after a day of strain is only valuable if you turn it into action. Make one small decision that leans into that new information. That small action helps your body lock in the new pattern. It's not about dramatic magic. It's about incremental repatterning. The recalibration is a process, and the most lasting results will come from repeating small, aligned actions long after the initial heat of the moment has passed. The final sign. Every spiritual passage leaves a mark. With the Mercury Cazimi on the 13th, the sign you've made it through isn't going to be loud fireworks or some overwhelming vision. It's something deceptively small, but once it happens, you'll never forget it. For those of you who make it through this intensity without collapsing into fear or distraction, your body will give you its stamp of completion in the simplest way possible: your breath. At first, you might not notice it. Tonight, some of you may feel like your chest is tight, like you can't get a full breath in. Your nervous system is braced for impact, and your ribs feel stiff. But once the shift has peaked and your body has weathered the storm of fire and energy, a strange and peculiar calm will settle over you. Out of nowhere, without you even trying, a single inhale will arrive. It will be long, smooth, and refreshing, unlike any breath you've taken before. It might happen while you're on a walk, sitting at your desk, cooking dinner, or just staring out a window. And yet, the difference will be unmistakable. It will feel as though your lungs have suddenly borrowed a pair of wings. This isn't just a trick of your body's physiology. This shift pushes Mercury into the very heart of the Sun, and in doing so, it carves open the airways of both your physical body and your soul. Your breath has always been the bridge between your mind and body, between tension and release. To experience that one strange, Effortless inhale is to know, without a doubt, that you have crossed that bridge. For the chosen, it becomes the clearest confirmation possible. You didn't just survive the portal, you passed through it. That single inhale is not just an ordinary exchange of oxygen. It carries a softness that feels almost otherworldly, like you're breathing air that doesn't belong to this dimension. Your shoulders will drop, the tightness in your heart will unclench, and your diaphragm will stretch without any resistance. So when tomorrow comes, don't look for lightning in the sky or grand visions. Instead, pay attention to the subtle shift happening inside your own chest. If, after all the storms of pressure, fire, and static, your body gifts you with that one startlingly clear breath, know this: the portal has been crossed, and you did not just endure it, you embodied it. That inhale is the mark of your passage. If you're still watching, I want to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed this content and want to see more like it, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is greatly appreciated. Feel free to share your own experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.